On today's show, the Dallas Mavericks get a win against the New York Knicks. Knicks should be embarrassed, but the Dallas Mavericks may have found something. Today's Locked On Mavs.
This is Cooper Flagg, and you're listening to Locked On Mavs.
I think that's a good question.
Good morning, Isaac. All these changes, I still got my dog Dwight Powell.
Your daily Dallas Mavericks podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network.
Still can't leave.
Your team every day.
I'm going to get a city like back.
And welcome. You're locked on to the Dallas Mavericks, where we let it ride. My name is Nick Angstadt, media member covering the Mavs for over 10 years. Thanks for bringing every day, making Locked On Mavs your first listen and making the Locked On Podcast Network the #1 sports podcast network out there. Joining me, as always, the post-game prodigy from the great Slightly Biased YouTube channel. What'd you see from the Dallas Mavericks this afternoon, Slightly Biased?
They're playing pretty well as of late. 3 straight wins, 3 straight blowout wins as well. And one thing that is clear and obvious is they're at least shooting more threes, which is what you need to do in today's NBA. So there you go.
The Mavs beat the Knicks. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about Naji Marshall's first half. We'll talk about Klay. Probably talk about Musa Cisse's moment. We'll talk about Cooper Flagg's return. But let's start here, Slightly Biased. When I say the Mavericks have found something, I think that something is the three-point shooting that you talked about. And the catalyst for that is Max Christie. Max Christie absolutely was awesome in this game. And one of the main reasons why the Mavericks won this game. Mavs get 15 made threes. They get 11 in the first half, which is awesome. The Mavs haven't made 11 threes total in games, like 21 times this season. It's been like a lot of games. They haven't even hit 11, and they hit 11 in the first half of this one. Max, 8 of 10 from 3 overall, 26 points. He was a plus 20 the Mavs were a plus 20 in his minutes. He played 35 minutes and 1 of 3 from 2, which is I respect. That's a shooter's stat line right there. You're 8 of 10 from 3 and 1 of 3 from 2. It wasn't just the threes that he was catching on catch and shoot shots. It wasn't just that like Coop was getting drive and kick, Naji getting drive and kick, and he's just open. The Knicks left him wide open for threes. He was creating some of these shots. And I think that's the difference between a guy being just a good like 3-and-D player, like a catch and shoot 3-and-D player, to somebody that you can ask to do a little bit more. Somebody that you can say, all right, go around, take a screen yourself and then pull up for 3, go against a mismatch and take a 3. And I saw a couple of those from Max Christie in this game. And I think those are the ones that separate, a good a role player from like a good role player.
Yeah, I mean, if he's knocking down threes at this rate, he'll be a role player in the league for a really long time. This has been the trend for him really since at times last year, and this year is just how he can impact the game in other ways. And yeah, just a great 3-point shooting game. I mean, what can you say? 8 of 10, right? Like knocked down his corner threes, a few of those where he got a defender to fly by, and then, one little dribble sidestep or a little dribble step back, just in rhythm. He's a great 3-point shooter, and the more volume we can get for him, the better, because I feel like this is just going to continue to trend in that direction for him. Like, he's just a great shooter. You want those guys to be taking around 10 3-point shots a game, not 4 or 5, where it feels like he was kind of stuck at for a long time.
Yeah, his game, like obviously 8 of 10 from 3, not sustainable. Not saying he's gonna, if he shoots at this rate, if he shoots at this rate going forward, he is the next Steph Curry and then some. If he shoots like this, but I think a game like this shows, and even the last couple of games for the Mavs against the Jazz and then now this one, I think it shows just how much one singular player can affect your 3-point shooting and how much 3-point shooting can cover just a ton of other mistakes. Knicks, 17 offensive rebounds. Mavs only got 7. Mavs, 16 turnovers. That was one of the big things all season, is if the Mavs get a bunch of turnovers, then that's going to be a big problem. They had 7 in the first quarter. It didn't matter at all because the Mavs were hitting threes, and it just covers a multitude of sins for you. Knicks, 52 points in the paint. There's so many different things you can look at where you say, all right, well, the Mavs should have lost because of this stat. But if you're hitting 15 threes compared to their 9 threes, or through the first half, was it 11 to 3 or whatever it was, made threes, then you can win a lot of basketball games. And I think that's a lesson that this Mavericks team, hopefully this front office, whoever takes the front office next, needs to learn, is that you cannot have no 3-point shooters or 2 3-point shooters on your entire team.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a lesson that's different. Like, it's just watch the NBA at all
right.
over the last 10 years. Like, this has just been where the league's gone. I mean, yeah, it's It's kind of why I used to defend Tim Hardaway Jr. on here and just be like, you got to replace his volume 3-point shooting, though. Like, I get all of the other stuff and why we might want him off the team, but the volume 3-point shooters are nice to have around. And the Mavs, they have that in Klay. And, he over the last few weeks, he's just been in, I'm going to shoot the ball anytime I touch it mode. And I mean, it's crazy, the Klay stuff, because I was looking at this today. He had a really bad first 10 games of the season. Yeah. Kind of typical for his career. But for the last 30 games, I mean, he's been 41% from three. So, like, you have this 10-game sample where it was bad. It was really bad. Really bad. And then 30 games where he's been, Klay Thompson from three. And, it's been, the Mavs have been winning his minutes over the last 30 games as well. Like, 3-point shooting is very important, and it just helps out other guys on your team, gives Naji the lanes to get to his spot in the paint and get the floater, gives Cooper driving lanes. Anybody who's watched basketball at all would have told you how important 3-point shooting is.
And it's not even just that 3 is more than 2. It's what you said before. It opens up a third dimension on your court. It's spacing, right? And the Mavs were going to have a spacing problem all year if they were going to go with their Anthony Davis at the 4 lineups, their 2 big lineups, whatever they decided to go with. They were going to have spacing problems. Then bring in Flagg as the 3, like that those lineups are just going to have a lot of spacing issues. And so to see this group right now that we're seeing right now with obviously AD out, Lively out, Gafford out, that you play more 3-point shooters. It's like half the lineup are 3-point shooters that basically plays in these games. Max, Klay, Cooper Flagg, Jaden Hardy didn't play that much, but Martin will put up some. Nembhard will put up some. Like, you just at least have like half your rotation can hit threes at any given moment. And I think that was this is something that we've seen in this. And, all of a sudden the offense completely opens up when you have multiple guys that can hit a 3 playing at the same time. It's like, wow.
There's also some Ewing theory stuff with AD. I mean, there's just the floor is a little bit more open, and you're not like running your offense through a guy 15 feet away from the basket, and so the spacing isn't as absolutely wonky. And that's just the truth.
Absolutely, for sure. With Max Christie, is any of this changing your thoughts on him as a player, or are you still kind of in the same spot where you've been?
No, I mean, not. I still think he's a really good role player. I mean, I think that's about it.
Somebody asked me on the text line if I would trade the Max Christie for the Pelicans pick from the Hawks.
I mean, I hate to do this after a game like this, but easily.
Yeah, I was like you easily do it. Like, we're not at that point yet. Like, let's be clear as where we are with Max Christie. Yes, I think he is a great role player to have around. You want a guy that can shoot the 3 like this, that can also defend, that can put the ball on the deck a little bit. Invaluable role player to have on a team, and especially the age. He's about to turn 23, and so he's still young, could still improve. We've seen him improve year to year as well. But yeah, incredible role player in the spot that he's playing in. I think that this was his best game of the season so far.
Yeah, and a great player to have next to Coop too. I mean, with the 3-point shooting, the defense, just kind of fits in perfectly, really, with any team. Like, I was talking about this on my stream. Just like Max Christie would play for every contending team in the league and would probably start for a handful of like legitimate championship contending teams.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a really good role player to have.
Absolutely. Love what I've seen from Max Christie. Absolutely. Hopefully we get to see more of it going forward. I also liked what I saw from Cooper Flagg in his return. Let's talk about him and a couple of the things that I think he can learn from a game like this, and how the Mavs got this win against the Knicks, because I don't think it was just 3-point shooting. We'll talk about that and more coming up. Today's episode of Locked On Mavs brought to you by Quo. New year, new systems. This is the time when a lot of us look at the messier parts of how we run a business and think, there's got to be a better way to do this. Like the Knicks looking at their own defense over the last 11 games. Streamlining communication is one of the quickest upgrades you can make, like having a players-only meeting in the second quarter. That's why today's episode is brought to you by Quo, Q-U-O, the smarter way to run your business communications. When your team is researched, organized, and communicating in one place, you're not just working cleaner, you're creating more opportunities to connect with customers. Check out Quo. You have all of your calls and texts from one shared business number, so nothing gets missed. Everyone sees the full conversation thread so that they can jump in at any point, which you gotta love as well. So you don't have to work 24/7 all the time trying to figure out I can't miss a single call, or else this is gonna mess us all up. You're everyone sees the full conversation. It works right from your phone or your computer. You can even keep your existing number, which is awesome. Make this year the year where no opportunity and no customer slip away. Try Quo for free, plus get 20% off your first 6 months when you go to quo.com/LockedOnNBA, QUO, quo.com/LockedOnNBA. Quo, no missed calls, no missed customers.
Shut it down! Let's go home!
Thanks for hanging out with us on Locked On Mavs, being part of the show, part of the Raccoon Squad. That's what we call our listeners, listening every single day. Appreciate you for checking out the show. Shout out to the Raccoon Squad members. Told me they were at this game. One of them said, I'm sitting here courtside and the wallet is feeling it. I was like, I bet it is.
Geez.
And this was before they knew that Cooper Flagg was going to play. And so shout out to that person for braving it, going all the way there, watching this game. You got to see a fun one.
Hit me up, man.
Because the Knicks were, I'm sure they have. So many people have told me, I've reached out to Slightly to have him go to a game with me.
Yeah.
All right.
People hit me up, and I always feel bad. Some people hit me up like an hour before the game starts. Sometimes I'm like, I don't live like that close to the stadium in Dallas traffic.
I mean, they're shutting 30 down here all the time. So we gotta figure this out.
We got an ice storm coming. Have you heard about that?
There's an ice storm coming to Dallas?
The Saturday night, the Luka return game.
Oh my gosh. It's coming with Luke? Luka's bringing it, or
Luka's bringing the ice? Is it get cold in Slovenia? I'm guessing so.
Yeah, right. They get winter.
Who knows, man?
Slovenia winter, real quick. Yeah, there's lots. Oh, great photos of winter.
So it's a beautiful country.
They could all be fake.
Hey, shout out to all the Slovenians that still listen to this, by the way.
Oh, they were getting mad at me yesterday because I said that it's easier to build around Flagg than Luka Doncic.
Oh, yeah, well, you did that one to yourself, man.
And I was like, but it's just a good reminder. Like, hey, still checking out the show. Appreciate you guys. Cooper Flagg, who I think it still is easier to build a team around than Luka. 18 points in his return, 7 of 14 for the field, 7 boards, 3 assists, did have 4 turnovers, hit a 3, 27 minutes. He was obviously limited in his minutes, but the Mavs also played some garbage time at the end. But he averages 34, 27, not that different. But Cooper Flagg, I thought, was really good in this game. It attacked downhill, attacked a bunch of different mismatches. I thought him and Max both, like, anytime it was Brunson or Landry Shamet, they're just like, all right, we're going to attack this. And it was a game plan from the Mavs to go and attack that. But it just felt like Coop was like, all right, I've done this. I'm here. And he was getting guarded by OG Anunoby.
I know.
In this game too. And you just go, it reminded me of the beginning of the season where we kept going every single game. It was this next like best defender in the league he was going up against.
Yeah, that was the first thing I noticed too. Was just like, man, imagine your third, 40th game of the NBA. First game at Madison Square Garden, at national TV, MLK Day game, and you're getting picked up by OG Anunoby the entire time. But yeah, I thought he had a pretty good game. I thought he was really good defensively. I thought that really stood out. Some, wonky offensive stuff, a few bad turnovers. The Mavs as a team just had a bunch of turnovers. You mentioned the number, what was it, 19
16.
turnovers? 16 turnovers. I mean, that's high.
Knicks had 17. So
yeah, I mean that's a high amount of turnovers. But yeah, some impressive drives. I like the fact that he put up 4 threes. I know it's always stupid when we come on here and 1 of 4 from 3 is nothing to write home about. But I mean, it's better that he's shooting these shots. Left some points at the free throw line, but yeah, I think a good for not playing for a week and then your first game being guarded by OG Anunoby in Madison Square Garden. I'm sure there's some pressure there. Obviously, everybody gets excited to play in that building for the first time in the NBA, at least, because I think he played a couple college games there. If I could be wrong on that, but yeah, good stuff. Highest plus minus on the team. We love that.
We do.
Advanced stat farming.
Plus 21. So the Mavs outscored the Knicks by 21 points in his minutes, which is big. And this is one of the things where we go back to, why I was so high on Flagg going forward and how I've been even higher on him throughout the season is he is impacting winning.
Yeah.
Like the Mavs are winning minutes when he is out there. He is doing things that get them buckets at key moments. And there's key moments in games where you're like, all right, we need a bucket right now. There was a moment in this game where the Mavs had just called a timeout. And like right out of the timeout, Flagg just like ISO. Yeah, it was in the fourth quarter. The Knicks were trying their comeback. It was an 18-point game. Mavs took a timeout. Right out of the timeout, Flagg ISO Hart lefty layup around Cat, and Cat came over to help, and Flagg just scored with the left hand, made it back to a 20-point game. His left hand has been so good. It's like everybody knows that now. Even the national broadcast, even Reggie Miller was like, He's so good with his left hand. It's become such a known thing that guys are going to start forcing him to go left now instead of going right. Or I guess they're going to force him to go right, and then he's going to score a bunch over there. But it's the timely buckets and the things that he does, the moments that he gives the Mavericks. Got those 2 free throws late in this game too, when the Knicks were mounting another comeback. 2 more, not clutch points, but 2 more fourth quarter late points that I think are massive.
Yeah. And I mean, we already know the offensive stuff. Defensively, some of the things that I've kind of thought that, maybe so far he hasn't been as impactful as a defender as it could have been advertised, even though he has been good. But, he was getting like KG comps at times defensively. And I think some of that is just learning the game, understanding when you can help off guys, when you might be over helping. And these are NBA players. So if you sag off a shooter, you might not have the time to recover these guys. The window is so much smaller for contests. The shooters are just so much better. The floor is more spaced, obviously. I thought today he was actually really good as a help defender. And that was really encouraging for me to see. Like, it felt like he was a little bit smarter with his help, but was still in the right place at the right time. Made a couple really nice plays as a help defender. Had a block that didn't count because Dwight Powell fouled Cat. But I mean, if it wasn't a foul, it would have been a block. It prevented an and one. So that was a nice defensive play. But yeah, good game from Coop. That's it, man. I mean, he's had so many good games that this wasn't one to write home about, but still impressive to watch him play every game.
Well, you look at a game like this, you go, 18 points, 7 boards, 3 assists. Yeah, normal.
Yeah.
Right? From any other rookie, if Nembhard or Musa or anybody else had a game like this, we'd go, wow, incredible game. But for Flagg, it's just another one, which great.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly right, man. Yeah, I've seen Jazz fans, and in their defense, Ace Bailey has looked pretty okay in a recent stretch, but they're like, yeah, man, he's averaging 13 and 3 over the last X amount of games.
And you go,
And it's like,
that's like those Luka graphics would be like Luka's average would go down if he got that in the game.
That's exactly right.
The first half was the reason why the Mavs got this game. They played terrible in the second half. I thought they only scored 30. They only scored 39 points in the whole second half. They scored 44 in the second quarter.
Yeah.
But that first half, one of the key things, fast break points, 27-2. The Mavs won the fast break points. We already mentioned the 3-point disparity. It was 11 made threes to 3. The Knicks weren't getting the free throw line either. Only 2 of 3 from the free throw line. And I thought the catalyst for the fast break points is Naji Marshall. He's just been absolutely awesome. 17 points in that first half, and was just pushing every single time he gets the ball, attacking guys. And man, the Mavs just outran this Knicks team, and they just didn't know what was coming.
Yeah, I mean, this was really, if we want to get down to it, this was that first half from the Knicks. And that was some damning stuff. That's given the stretch that they're on, they're now 2-9 in their last 11 games. And it's been a lot of stuff like this where you're just watching, you're like, man, this looks like a lifeless, dead basketball team out there. And it's so elementary just to go to effort level and stuff. But dude, if you give up, they said it on the Mavs broadcast. I believe the Mavs average 19 fast break points a game, and that's the second most in the league. I mean, I could be mistaken on that. I think that's what the graphic said. Dude, if giving up 27 fast break points in a half is insanity. That is just a crazy amount of fast break points to give up. And a lot of it was, you were 100% right. Naji Marshall pushing the pace, getting to that spot on the floor. But I mean, dude, he was getting to the elbow. He was getting to the elbow, to the free throw line, to that area of the floor before anybody even tried to stop ball. I have no clue what the Knicks were doing defensively early in this game. This was a loss for New York where maybe you look at your situation, you're like, okay, maybe some guys are on the table that we did not originally think were on the table.
Coming up, Tracy McGrady said something at halftime that shocked me. And I think shocked also Vince Carter and Carmelo Anthony on the desk. I want to talk about it because I think it has something to do with this Knicks team. And then we also got to talk about
all these changes. And, I still got my dog, Dwight Powell.
Today's episode of Locked On Mavs brought to you by TurboTax. Tax season doesn't have to take your life over. This year, TurboTax make it easier than ever to just hand things off and move on with your day. You don't have to worry about it. Don't have to worry about figuring out all these different things. TurboTax full service can help get your taxes done for you by a trusted local expert, start to finish, without the stress or the guesswork. Instead of spending hours trying to figure out these forms and, all right, what do I put where and what do I sign here? You can meet with a local TurboTax expert in person, or you can connect online, make that even easier. Don't have to schedule nothing. They handle everything from W-2s to self-employed forms and work to get you every deduction that they can get. You can upload your documents, go about your day, and get updates right in the TurboTax app. I've done this before. You give them your documents, and you get the updates all throughout to see, all right, where are they? When is this going to be finished? You know exactly what it is. It's a huge time saver and gives real peace of mind knowing an expert is handling it. For a limited time, you can get your taxes done by a local expert for just $150. Local TurboTax expert, not a local expert, because that's what we call us as team. Local TurboTax expert for $150 all in. If a TurboTax expert didn't file you last year, just filed by February 28th. Take taxes off your plate and get back to your life. Visit turbotax.com/local to book your appointment today.
Shut it down! Let's go home!
All right, Slightly, we're talking about the Mavs win against the New York Knicks, and I haven't mentioned tanking yet at all, and I don't think that I will.
Nice.
You know?
We're shifted to the 6th seed now.
How far are they? How far are we back now? Because we're 2 games back from the 10th seed now. These Dallas
Who
Mavericks.
even is? I've actually in
Lakers
part of
are
this
6th seed right now, and Mavs are what, like 8.5 games back from the 6th seed?
All right, nice. Yeah, we got a chance
with the 3rd hardest schedule going forward. So
man, wow. I haven't really paid attention much to the standings because I mean, don't need to, but like wow, the Lakers are the 6th seed. Oh, there's always that clump from like 4 to 8. I feel like in the West.
Well, yeah, it's literally 4 to 8 is 3-game difference.
Yeah, that feels like that's every year,
every single year. Yeah, there was one year where it's like the Mavs could be anywhere from 4 to 10. You're like, oh wait, hold on.
And usually one of these teams has like a good stretch that pulls them away, and then one team kind of bottoms out.
So Tracy McGrady is on the halftime show for this NBC Peacock stream. It's Tracy McGrady. It's Vince Carter, his cousin, also an NBA basketball player. I don't know if you know that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Carmelo Anthony. And Tracy McGrady goes, "This is the type of game where you look around, and if you've got a grudge against another player in this game, you don't try as hard in that game." And Vince Carter and Carmelo Anthony look at him and go, like, basically like, are you telling us like this is something you did? Like, this sounds like you have a personal experience with this right now. He's like, as he's saying it, and they're like, I don't know if we agree with this. And he's like, that's what the Knicks were. It seems like the Knicks were doing. It's like they weren't there. The effort wasn't there. The help defense, the guys just trying to get buckets for themselves. Like, it didn't feel like there was cohesion. You had Jalen Brunson calling that players only meeting during the 2nd quarter, and then right after that, the Mavs like built it to a 30-point lead. I mean, it just did not feel like anybody on this Knicks team was really taking their jobs seriously at any point in this game. And I thought that comment from Tracy McGrady was hilarious because they were like, all right, so in that situation, if you've ever been in that situation with one of your teams, what do? He goes, you trade guys. You get rid of them. That's the only way to fix this. And I was like, wow, what a damning comment from somebody that's played on a bunch of different teams with a bunch of different guys.
So he was basically insinuating that there's a giant rift in the locker room.
Insinuating that like one of the reasons why something like this happens, and if you do hate like another player on your team or have a grudge against them,
he thinks that players hate each other.
Yes. And he was like sharing it like this. Oh, this happens with NBA teams. And Vince Carter, Carmelo were like, they didn't even comment or say anything about it because look in their eyes was like, what are you insinuating right now?
I wonder who it is. I think that, and let me theorize on this a little bit.
Let's do it. That's what we do best here.
I'm speaking for myself at least. We all have friends in college that we make in college, very different times in our lives. And then you kind of grow up and get older. And then it's just, at least this is what happened with me. Just the college friendships kind of faded away a little bit as we all kind of went separate paths.
Sure.
But because for those brief 3 or 4 years, we were all 18, 19 years old. Wanted to go out.
You're living in the same
pies.
places. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Then you all just go your separate ways. I mean, everyone thought the Villanova Knicks would work because they all went to college together.
But then they ousted Dante DiVincenzo. Right?
Yeah.
So that was bad.
And people forget the weird DiVincenzo, Rich Brunson stuff.
Rick
Brunson. Sorry.
They're both probably rich, but
they're rich.
But yeah, Mikal Bridges, 7 points in this game, 3 of 10 from the field.
He's so weird for them.
Which it seemed like a great fit. Bigger wing, can get his own shot. Like, oh, if Brunson doesn't have it, if Cat doesn't have it, got another guy.
When it's working with Mikal, it's great for them. but it's just too many games like this where he just floats around.
And like the Nets are about to do this again with Michael Porter Jr., where they build up this one guy to be like nearly an all-star. Mikal was never an all-star with the Nets, right? He was close.
No.
But they're building up this guy, and then they're going to trade him for multiple picks, and then he's going to go to this next team and be like he was at the end of the Nuggets thing.
I feel like you're never really worried about Michael Porter Jr. getting shots, though.
That's true.
Mikal Bridges, there's games like, why did you shoot 7 times? Like, what just happened?
It's just a weird team. And the most embarrassing part of this whole game, they went to hack a Musa Cisse at the end of this game.
Yeah.
They
knocked them both down.
They brought Mitchell Robinson in this game. They did it twice. They intentionally fouled him 2 times. You go, look, we're going to that tactic at the end of this game that you guys hate because people do it against Mitchell Robinson all the time. Against this 17-26 Mavs team with this injury report, you're doing that? Oof. Like, I can't pick the Knicks to make the finals out of this. Like, there's just no way. I
had them for going into the season, and at the start of this rough stretch, I was like, it's just one of these weird, December, January lulls. I think once you get to a 2-9 stretch, and not just like, we lost this game by 3 points, and then this game by 2 points, but games where you just look, it's just like, dude, if you didn't know any better, you would think this team was tanking.
Yeah, if you watch this game with somebody that has no context for the NBA.
Yeah, they'd be like, this team's like hoping to get, Darren Peterson or something, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, no, this team wants to win the finals this year, actually. Yeah, I mean, OG, his role is just so strange. And then Cat is just, he's got to be the toughest watch in the league, man.
We got the Cat, Dwight Powell back and forth. Cat hit Dwight Powell in the nuts, the face, the head, the arms, the legs, like everything. And
the face goes without being said.
The face is a given, right? But
yes.
everything else, especially the nuts, is like what are you doing? And it happened it happened multiple times. And finally, Dwight Powell got an offensive foul. In the beginning of the fourth quarter, Cat had an offensive foul against Dwight Powell. Dwight threw his own leg up and hit Cat back in the nut. And I love me some Dwight Powell. 100% he did it on purpose.
What, Cat did?
No, Dwight hit Cat back.
In
the fourth quarter, that one where they're replaying it over and over again. Cat's on the ground, like face down.
Yeah, man, they were going after it.
And I think it messed with Cat. It messed with his game. He ended up with 22 and 18, but 5 fouls, 5 turnovers.
Yeah, I mean, and I'll give him some props here where, at least in the second half, I felt like he was maybe one of 2 Knicks along with Mitchell Robinson who felt like we're out there like really, really
trying.
Yeah, really, really going for it. And Cat was just out of control and didn't have a good game. I mean, 18 rebounds, geez. But still, didn't have a good game. And yeah, it's just, he's just, as time goes on, it's just close your eyes and try to imagine Karl-Anthony Towns as the second best player, or at the very least, a massive key focal point on a team that's raising a trophy at the end of the year. It's hard to imagine. It's just a brand of basketball that is not consistent enough.
You go back to those Timberwolves teams and you're like, oh, this is why they needed Rudy Gobert.
Yeah. And that team made the conference finals, and
twice.
The Knicks made the conference finals. So it's it's not like it's impossible to win with the guy. But with Cat and Brunson was getting torched.
The Mavs were going at him.
I mean, everybody on the Mavs was everybody. I'm talking B. Will, Nembhard, Caleb Martin. Like, it was like we're trying to get a switch onto Brunson every single time. And even Josh Hart too. Like, he's supposed to be one of their defensive guys. I mean, he was getting torched.
Yeah.
Team just feels lost.
They're lost. I don't know what they're doing. They're having players only meetings. They're hacking Mavs two-way guys.
Player only meetings, I'm cool with. Like that, I feel like we can rejuvenate sometimes, probably happens more than maybe we even know.
No, I'm saying mid-game.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
They had that one of the they showed it on the Peacock broadcast. Mid second quarter, Brunson is gathering everybody, like the entire team, together around and having a players only meeting and talking everything out. And like basically like urging these guys, everybody do your job.
Here's Josh Hart after the game. We all need to do some soul searching. How we're playing right now is really inexcusable. Last year, the effort was always there. I haven't seen this effort. It's embarrassing.
And he's the effort guy.
God, that's just, think about this, Mavs fans. a year ago from this day, we were hopeful, title contenders. We are now the team where if a team loses to, it's like, this is embarrassing. Do we have to do some soul searching?
Hasn't gotten to the Wizards level yet, where if you lose to the Wizards, you start searching. Like,
yeah, when we did, it was like, yeah, it's time to fire guys. Like
the second game of the season, we were like, oh my God, here we go.
Yeah, second game of the season. It's time to fire some people. We're not there yet, thankfully.
Knicks empty their bench with 2:41 left in the game.
Which actually, I was surprised. I thought they were going to do it. I thought there was going to be like a message sent, and there was going to be like a 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Everyone's out.
I thought for sure when it was, but then they kind of kept cutting into it. But yeah, when it was 20 with like 8 minutes left, I was like, ooh.
And it's a talented team too. I mean, maybe they figure it out. I mean, maybe they just. Obviously, we're not in the locker room, so I don't know who maybe the rift is between. But like I said earlier, this is the type of loss where like guys you didn't even really think about being options in a trade are now like, should anybody be safe after something like this?
Towns, $53 million. OG, $39 million.
Oh yeah,
Brunson,
people were asking me
million.
If I would do AD for Cat. I'm like, why on earth would I do? No.
Yeah, I saw that. I wouldn't do that either.
Like,
Cat,
what are we?
53, 57, 61 million. I mean, he at least plays. Like that's better.
Do I even want that though? No, I'm just kidding.
Josh Hart, 19 million. I mean, this team, this is a second apron team, right? Oh, they're real clear. 148,000 under the second apron.
And they went out and got Yabusele, and he's out there with their bench group at the end of the game, mop up duties.
Clarkson played like 2 minutes, in garbage time, 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Did Tyler Kolek ever play? He did.
He came in at the end, I think.
They didn't play him much at all. Like, yeah, the bench thing hasn't really worked. They really only played 8 guys.
Early in the season, their bench looked good. I mean, maybe this is a weird lull, but yeah, it looks bad. I mean, I'm trying to think off the top of my head if we've ever had teams that had this type of stretch that went on to like really compete. And then I think like Indiana last year.
What was the Mavs stretch where I called for Jason Kidd to be fired a couple weeks ago?
that was a little bit different because the Mavs made gigantic. That was after the trade
stretch
deadline.
Was after those moves, but it had been not.
It
Very
wasn't
long.
2-9. It wasn't 2-9.
No, it was
Bad.
a 1-5 stretch.
God, I miss being that reactionary. Now we're just on here, man. Just like, yeah, Coop was good tonight. Win or lose, yeah, whatever.
They went on a 4-8 stretch earlier this season before the trade.
Two game losing streaks. We used to come on and be like, yeah, I don't know, this team is a joke.
We used to have standards here. We used to believe in something.
It'll come back. Coop and Darren Peterson and Cam Boozer, because they're going to trade for another pick. So it's going to be those three.
All three of them.
And then Con Knippel as well is coming to play with Coop.
Bring on Con. Let's do it.
So that's
how many Knippels can we get?
Come on, watch. Like the Suns are just going to give up on him, and then the Mavs are going to take him as a reclamation project.
How many Knippels can they? Well, and then are the Mavs going to do the Villanova Knicks version of the Duke team?
Yeah, the Dukies. Lively will still be on. Go get Sion, James. Sion or Sion? I always say Sion, and I think
I
it's
say Sion too.
It's Sion, 100%.
Go check out Slightly Biased, great YouTube channel.
Tyrese
Good stuff
Proctor.
happening all the time over there, and we'll have more for you a little bit later. Go check out Locked On NBA Game Night. I'll be hosting that with Camille. We'll talk about this game, talk about all the other games that happened. Guys, thanks so much for listening to Locked On Mavs. Check the Everydayer Club for different ways to follow the show. Thanks so much for listening to Locked On Mavs. Peace out. Boom.
Don't let this team get hot, man.
Congrats, Isaac.
Congrats,
baby.
Isaac.
Born on the 19th. Let's go. Shout out, Isaac.
Shout
out Isaac's wife.
That's true. Yeah, Isaac really didn't.
Shout out
Isaac didn't.
Shout out.
Isaac's work is done.
Boom.